Hey guys, so I am here in Red Rocks. I've been living out of my car for the past 2 weeks or so, and I'm gonna hang out here for 2 more weeks, hence the big rock behind me. And I wanted to do another belay device review. This is on the Wild Country Revo. I've actually wanted to play around with this thing ever since it came out, and I have some good thoughts about it. It's kind of an interesting device, and it's also interesting shape, really. I guess the first thing off the bat is this will cost you about $144, maybe $150 USD. I got it from REI with my dividend, so that was nice. Free belay device. It is compatible with ropes from 8.5 to 11 millimeters, so pretty good range. That's just about any single rope on the market. And weight, I don't know the exact weight of it, but it's heavier than the Gree 2. It's probably about as heavy as a Gree Plus, maybe a little bit more. Not as heavy as the Idelrid Eddy though, so it's somewhere in between that range. And really what Wild Country was going for here is sort of as any country does, the ultimate belay device. The cool part about this is it does have an assisted braking feature, but it only actually engages if the belayer does something wrong. And I think that that's very interesting. I was playing around with it in the gym, and I kept on trying to catch falls on it, but I would never be able to actually engage the assisted brake because your brake hand actually catches the fall for you as long as you're doing everything right. So the idea is it acts like a passive belay device unless you do something wrong, and then there is a brake assist feature that actually does do a good job of stopping the rope completely. I would say it's one of the stronger mechanical brake assists, pretty much all the way to Gree in terms of how much brake assist it offers. It fully stops the rope. It is fully symmetrical. You can see how they put these little arrows. See, up, that's for the rope. So you can load it this way with your brake hand being here and the climber being here, or the other way around, brake hand and climber. The way how you load it is you have this plastic trigger, you push that up, and that unlocks the whole thing. And you see it splits out like this. Here you go, another shot for you. Yep, splits apart. And then you have to make sure that you weave the rope all around this metal thing right here. And you hook it on this and on that. It does take a little bit of practice to load it at first. And then when you have it loaded, it'll click. And that's really the best way to check it, because if you try to do the normal yank on the climber side, chances are you're not going to engage to that brake, that assisted brake. It really needs, you really need to have the rope going fast and a decent amount of rope to go through. The exact number that they say with the company is once the rope starts accelerating to 3 meters per second, that's when the assisted brake kicks into gear. And I gotta say, that's probably about true. I still haven't been able to make it fully move on to the assisted braking while maintaining good belay technique. The way how you hook a carabiner in, you got this spot down here, and then you can see how it's a little hollow on that side. So you can actually clip a carabiner into it wrong without the rope. If the rope is there, then it's kind of blocking the carabiner from going in. But you don't want to clip it so that way it's flush with the device. You clip, or I guess we could say perpendicular with the device. You want it going 90 degrees parallel. There you go. See around the rings. And then you can belay just like normal. The belay works just fine with a carabiner like that or with a D carabiner. Doesn't matter which carabiner you have at this point, because the rope doesn't actually run through it. You just need it to attach to your harness, so you're good on that. A good use for this device is pretty much just single pitch belaying. Obviously you can't do any double rope things with it. It is a single rope device. I'd say cragging and single pitch climbing is where this is home. I do know some people that have been playing around with it on like rope soloing and big wall soloing, I'm not sure if it's the best thing to use in that case, because like the gree is much more fast acting than this, and I feel like this could actually have more interference than the gree in different situations. That right there, as you can see here, it's in its normal mode, and then if this side clicks up, then that's giving you the assisted brake on that side, if that's your brake hand. You can see the other side clips up too. So that's going again with, you can't load it the wrong way. But this is when both the assisted braking are actually activated. You can see this little wire right here that's sort of controlling the assisted brake. And then when you pull down on the rope, just clicks back in normal. There we go. Anytime you catch a fall, only one side's going to be clipped up, and then you pull down with the brake rope, and then you lower like normal. Wild Country does have some other videos, and Weigh My Rack has some videos showing that in action, so you can see more about it. But yeah, I think it's maybe not the end-all assisted braking device. I find it's actually kind of awkward to have on your belay loop when you're paying out rope, because it is really heavy and so it sinks down low, and then it has to shoot up when you catch a climber. So I think that's kind of annoying. I really like how the gree you can just hold it in place, and so I've started holding this in place like that, sort of, while I'm belaying with it. But that's sort of specific to me. That's not really anything to blame the company over. I think it's a worthy device to have. I would be a little worried. It seems like it has a lot of moving parts and a lot of like oil in it. I think when I got it out of the package, it felt a little oily on my fingers. And so be careful throwing this around in the dirt and stuff, because that oils or whatever lubricant they use is going to attract a lot of dirt. They actually sent it in the box with a little pack, a little bag. It says Wild Country. We got Revo on the side. I've never had a device come with an actual bag. So I guess that's just where you put it when you're not using it. Keep it out of the dirt and stuff. It's a really big bag. Roll it up or something. But yeah, that helps protect the device from dirt and debris, especially since it is kind of high-tech and complicated. But essentially that's how it works. I'd say it's just use it for single pitch belaying while sport cragging, and maybe I'll experiment with it a little bit later in place of the gree in some places where I would put it. But I'd say that that's pretty much its place. And I would definitely not recommend belaying from above with that device, especially since you need a lot of rope to go through to activate the assisted braking. And if you did have it connected to an anchor, it's literally just like a pulley. So if the climber falls, you're going to give yourself a major rope burn. They're going to have to go pretty far before it locks up. And there's a lot of configurations where the locking mechanism could actually be occluded by some sort of rock or whatever, and then it doesn't actually lock up at all. So whereas you can belay with some other assisted braking devices like the eddy or the gree off of a anchor for belaying from above, I definitely would not recommend doing it with that. So it has its place, just single pitch sport climb or single pitch climbing, cragging in the gym, and that's where it should stay. So thank you for watching the review, and if you have any questions or anything to add, you can add that in the comments, and then I'll see you in the next one.